show. So thank you once again for joining this Canada Specialist Program webinar. Lizzie from Northwest Territories Tourism, please take it away.
Hello everybody, thank you again for joining us. Just to start with a bit of an overview, the Northwest Territories of Canada encompasses a range of remote landscapes of forests, mountains and Arctic tundra. The region is predominantly renowned for its aurora viewing, yet more and more travellers are looking into adding to their aurora experience to explore further into the territories, into remote national parks, including Nahanni National Park Reserves and Canada's newest national park, Tharrdane, embracing Indigenous culture. So in today's presentation, I'll highlight the territory's aurora options and also explain how travel agents can reach off-the-grid locations through custom-built small group tours, making it easier to piece together unknown areas and also Western Canada locations, so people who want to experience multiple provincial or territory stays know how to piece it all together. So let's get started with highlighting where the Northwest Territories are located. Here on your screen, the green section, you will see the Northwest Territories, centrally located between the Yukon and Nunavut, and also above BC and Alberta and Saskatchewan there. The territory's capital is Yellowknife, and it's located on the north shore of the Great Slave Lake. And direct flights are available into Yellowknife from Calgary, Vancouver and Edmonton, with the flying time being 1 hour and 45 minutes. Starting with the aurora, the Northwest Territories has two aurora seasons, summer, fall and winter. So the summer timing is mid-August to early October, and then winter being December to March. Aurora viewing in Yellowknife provides guests with the options of staying in a downtown hotel to get transferred out to an aurora viewing location, or flying to a remote wilderness lodge. So I'll take you on that journey, starting with the aurora viewing lodges when you stay downtown. These aurora viewing lodges pick you up from your hotel and they take you out to the lodges, and they also return you to your hotels. They provide winter clothing as well, or you can rent it. One of the most popular aurora viewing locations in Yellowknife is the Indigenously owned and operated Aurora Village. It's just located outside of Yellowknife and set amongst 21 teepees and with hilltop views around, and each of the teepee is heated with a fireplace for guests to watch the aurora. And there is also a VITP package for private teepee experience, and that includes a 3-course meal. Aurora Village also has 360-degree outdoor heated swivel chairs. They have a gift shop of Indigenous craft, and they also have a dining hall for those that choose not to have the in-teepee experience. Now, this location is operational for both summer and winter aurora. For smaller group tours, bucket list tours have a cabin in the wilderness, only 15 minutes outside of Yellowknife. Again, they'll pick you up from your downtown hotel, and they serve some of their local cuisine, and they also have Indigenous stories and tales to tell. And their small group tours are a maximum of 14 people. So the cabin is quite quaint and gives you that personal experience for groups. Larger groups might like to try Yellowknife Outdoor Adventures. They're year-round, and they also have winter experiences like snowmobiling here pictured, and they take you out to a remote lodge to see the aurora in winter via a snow truck on the ice roads, or in the summer by a boat. It is an aurora viewing lodge though, so you do return, even though you were going out of Yellowknife, you do return to your downtown hotel. New experience is with North Star Adventures. They have Indigenous aurora experiences where they tell stories of the ancestors and they're linked to the aurora, and it's a single teepee experience, again for small groups and away from crowds. For those looking for a more private type of a tour, this is a really good Indigenous experience. So as I mentioned, the accommodation to explore the aurora is downtown Yellowknife, about 15 to 20 minutes depending on your aurora viewing station. There's the Explorer Hotel, where Will and Kate stayed on their tour of Canada. Capital Suites is apartments, which is great for families. Chateau Nova being a new property. And I also featured a lead-in property that travel agents might be aware of, because it's the most affordable and the rooms are really large. So it's a great lead-in property when people are really coming just to see the Aurora, not sit in their rooms. But a little bit of a bucket list experience, and probably what sets the Northwest Territories apart as an Aurora viewing location, would be their signature fly-in, fly-out lodges. They're dotted throughout the territories and really accessible via bush plane from Yellowknife. So I'll take you on a journey on some of those lodges. The most famous and most popular, I would say, would be Braggford Lake Lodge. Again, Will and Kate spent their time of touring Canada here. They hired out the entire lodge. So this lodge is a custom Aurora viewing lodge, and it is the only Aurora viewing fly-in, fly-out lodge that is year-round. So they have summer and winter Aurora. They have summer and winter activities in the daytime, hot tub, and they have a chef that serves and cooks 3 meals a day. The accommodation is in the lodge or in a little cabin, and we've always received raving reviews from anybody going to visit this lodge. New this year is Frontier Lodge. Now, Frontier Lodge is actually a fishing lodge that is pairing now of Aurora viewing, and it is the gateway to Thyadine National Park, which is Canada's newest national park. What they're doing during the Aurora summer season, I should reiterate, they only do summer, fall Aurora, not winter, is they're turning their fishing tours into wildlife tours. So they're taking guests out on the boats to view the wildlife along the shoreline, where they guarantee you to see muskox and a variety of other wildlife. And they have all of their accommodation is cabin style with full bathrooms. Another lodge venturing into wildlife viewing during the daytime is Laclemat Lodge. And this lodge also has little cabins with full bathrooms, and is a fishing lodge that also has a specific Aurora season where they are again taking their boats out onto the lakes to view the wildlife. So those two, Frontier and Laclemat, are linked to wildlife viewing with their Aurora, and they're all accessible only via bush plane to access the areas and the lodges. Yellow Dog Lodge is a bit different to the others. This one runs more like a B&B type experience, where the owners actually live on site and they welcome guests and they cook for their guests, and they're a big part of the guest experience. For your guests that don't want all the bells and whistles, but like a home feel and like a B&B experience, this is a really great lodge to consider. Again, summer Aurora is they're what they mainly cater for, but they do private groups for winter. And they also have barge stays, as you can see in one of the pictures there, for guests if they really want to try something different. So more of a B2B type feel for B&B type feel for Yellow Dog Lodge. So now venturing further into the Northwest Territories beyond Yellowknife, sometimes to the harder places to get to, it can be quite daunting for a travel agent to try and piece this together. So if your client isn't a hardcore adventurer wanting to go off grid, the best way to experience remote wilderness in the Northwest Territories is on a small group tour, or asking one of their many Australian wholesalers who specialise in Canada to build a custom itinerary combining small group tours for you that others have put together with set departures, or customing itinerary for you for your own departures. A classic tour is to experience the only road in Canada where you can drive all the way to the Arctic Ocean and dip your toes in the water. Opened to the public in November in 2017, the Northwest Territories Inuvik Tuktoyaktuk Highway is the first road in history to reach the polar shore in North America. Tours to experience the Arctic Ocean predominantly start in the neighbouring province of the Yukon, combining the Dempster Highway and the Inuvik Tuktoyaktuk Highway. This is the only all-season highway tour that can be experienced in both summer and winter to reach the Arctic Ocean. And I'll provide links from some of the tours and the operators that have this tour combining Dempster Highway and the Inuvik Tuktoyaktuk Highway to reach the Arctic Ocean. Now, self-drive is also an option for your clients. They'd need to start in Whitehorse in the Yukon and combine the Dempster Highway with the Inuvik Tuktoyaktuk Highway. I would suggest you only do this in summer, and it's extensive in length. The Dempster itself is 740 kilometres. And that's even before you reach Inuvik. So the tours can be a easier option for you to sell and more convenient for your clients because it's run by experts. And others really and unique new small group tours available now into the marketplace is one to experience the remote national parks of the Northwest Territories. A new tour for 2022 being designed by Great Canadian Trails, who are owned by World Expeditions, is the Subarctic Aurora Boreal Forest and Iconics National Parks tour. This includes Nahanni National Park and Tharadine National Park, including a stay at that Frontier Lodge that I mentioned, accessible by Bushmen for their summer aurora and wildlife viewing. I'll provide links to this tour after the presentation. A number of other operators do have tours into the Northwest Territories that combine with other areas in Western Canada to experience the Rocky Mountains or even an Alaska cruise. Options include some luxury escapes, APT, Travel Marvel, Evergreen and Adventure World, who have ready-built custom tours that touch on the icons of Western Canada and Yellowknife Aurora viewing. And again, I'll provide these links after the presentation. Also, there are a number of operators who specialize in custom itineraries. So they might not have specific itineraries built, showcased through their brochures or their website, but they can custom build some of these itineraries for you. And the likes of Memento, Entire Travel Group, Adventure Destinations, Natural Focus Safaris, I'll provide links to those operators again. They can also custom build tours into the Western Canada and touch into the Northwest Territories. So that is a wrap for me on how to experience the Aurora in the Northwest Territories and venture beyond with custom tours and experience a little bit of off the beaten track, where you're sure also to see some of the unique wildlife in the Northwest Territories. So I thought I'd finish on this picture before coming back to you, Charlie, for questions.